The evolution of the U.S. Army Medical Corps during World War II marks a significant chapter in military medicine, reflecting a journey from rudimentary practices to a sophisticated, life-saving system. This transformation was not only a response to the immediate needs of warfare, but also a reflection of advancements in medical science and a shift in the understanding of the importance of soldier care. Historically, the care of wounded soldiers was a secondary concern for military planners. Soldiers, often peasant conscripts, were left to their own devices when injured, with only the wealthy able to afford personal doctors on the battlefield. Medical care, when available, was primitive, with procedures like amputations being notably crude and painful. Diseases like gangrene were common and accepted as inevitable. Surviving veterans, especially those with severe injuries or disabilities, were often left to live out their days in poverty, relying on charity. The 18th century brought about significant changes in military medicine. The combined impact of improved medications and faster transportation methods began to transform the landscape of soldier care. The Crimean War and the American Civil War were pivotal in this evolution, introducing structured medical support systems, including horse-drawn ambulances and military hospitals equipped with relatively modern equipment. Key figures such as Florence Nightingale and Clara Barton emerged during this period, advocating for and implementing better care for the wounded. The onset of World War II presented unprecedented challenges for the U.S. Army Medical Department. The department, under Surgeon General Norman T. Kirk, underwent rapid expansion. From a peacetime strength of 1,200 doctors, it grew to an astonishing 50,000 physicians by war's end. This expansion wasn't just in numbers. It marked the first significant inclusion of women in the Army's medical ranks. Alongside the physicians, the Army also enlisted 15,000 dentists, 2,000 veterinarians, and a massive increase in the number of nurses in the Army Nurse Corps, from 1,000 to 52,000. The department also incorporated 1,500 dietitians, 1,000 physical therapists, and 18,000 administrators, creating a comprehensive medical support structure. The necessity for rapid expansion brought its own set of challenges. At the outbreak of the war, the department faced a significant shortage of medical instruments, many of which had been imported from pre-war Germany. This obstacle spurred innovation, such as the use of acrylic resin by Army dentists to create artificial eyes, which were lighter and more durable than the German-produced glass eyes. One of the most significant innovations of the U.S. Army Medical Corps during World War II was the development of portable surgical hospitals, the precursors to the mobile Army surgical hospitals made famous in the Korean War. Born out of necessity in the hostile jungles of New Guinea, these portable surgical hospitals represented a major tactical and medical advancement. They were Spartan yet functional, set up close to the front lines, sometimes under enemy fire. Their design allowed for rapid disassembly and relocation, adapting to the fluid nature of warfare. These units proved so successful that they were replicated in every theater where Americans fought, playing a crucial role in treating wounded soldiers near the battlefront. The medics, often not fully trained physicians, were the unsung heroes on the front lines. They underwent extensive Army training in first aid and were instrumental in providing immediate care under fire. Initially, medics might face ridicule from fellow soldiers during training, but this perception changed drastically in combat. They became the lifeline for injured soldiers, administering first aid, applying tourniquets, injecting morphine, and facilitating the rapid evacuation of casualties. Their bravery did not go unrecognized. By the end of the war in the European theater, 5 medics had been awarded the Medal of Honor, with hundreds more receiving silver and bronze stars. They earned the respect and gratitude of the soldiers they served, embodying the commitment and sacrifice of the medical corps. The medical treatment system during World War II was a well-orchestrated process. Frontline medics provided initial care, which often included administering morphine for pain relief, applying sulfa powder to prevent wound infections, and quickly bandaging injuries. Casualties were then evacuated to battalion aid stations for more comprehensive care and diagnosis. From there, the wounded were moved to collecting stations, which sorted out the more serious cases for treatment at portable surgical hospitals or sent them to clearing stations for major surgeries. The clearing stations were well-equipped facilities, capable of performing significant medical procedures in sanitary conditions. The most critical cases were then transported to evacuation hospitals, located some 12 to 15 miles behind the front lines. These hospitals served as a transitional point before the wounded were sent to general hospitals, often located as close to the soldier's home as possible. The journey of a wounded soldier did not always end at an overseas hospital. Many were transported back to the United States for further treatment and rehabilitation. The Army Medical Department's responsibility extended beyond the battlefield, aiding soldiers in their transition back to civilian life, especially for those who had suffered life-altering injuries. This commitment to ongoing care and rehabilitation was a precursor to the modern services provided by the Veterans Administration. The U.S. Army Medical Corps faced distinct challenges in different theaters of war. In the Pacific, the focus was as much on combating disease as on treating battle wounds. Diseases like malaria, dysentery, typhus, and various fungal skin diseases, colloquially known as jungle rot, were prevalent. These diseases often sidelined more soldiers than actual combat with the enemy. The Medical Corps had to adapt to these unique environmental challenges, providing both preventative care and treatment for these tropical diseases. In the European theater, the respect for the Red Cross symbol, indicative of medical personnel and facilities, varied. The Japanese forces, not signatories of the Geneva Convention before the war, often did not respect the Red Cross emblem, leading to American medics and medical facilities being targeted. In contrast, German forces generally honored the Red Cross, although there were exceptions. This variability necessitated adaptations by the Medical Corps, such as camouflaging the Red Cross symbols to reduce the risk of being targeted. Each campaign and operation during World War II brought its own set of medical challenges and learning experiences. The North African and Italian campaigns, for instance, provided valuable lessons in treating combat casualties and managing environmental health risks. An innovative dental device for neck traction, developed during the Italian campaign, exemplified the kind of practical, on-the-spot innovations that characterized the medical response in different theaters. Venereal disease was another challenge that the Medical Corps had to contend with. Despite efforts to educate troops and provide prophylactics, venereal diseases remained a persistent issue. The establishment of special prophylactic stations, colloquially known as pro-stations, was a key strategy in managing this health risk. The preparation for the Normandy invasion, codenamed Operation Overlord, was a significant undertaking for the Army Medical Department. Expecting heavy casualties, extensive medical facilities and resources were organized. This included designating 97,400 hospital beds in England and preparing accommodations for 196,000 patients, with 8,000 doctors and 10,000 nurses ready to provide care. A stockpile of 800,000 pints of blood plasma and 1.2 million doses of penicillin was amassed for the invasion. Additionally, 15 hospital ships and 50 dedicated Red Cross airplanes were prepared to transport the wounded. Despite thorough planning, challenges such as vehicle exhaust on transport ships and rough seas complicated the evacuation and treatment process. Patients were often transferred to smaller boats for landing on empty beaches, where ambulances and medical personnel awaited. This system ensured that the crowded main ports remained focused on outbound traffic to France. The arrival of medics on D-Day and the rapid establishment of field hospitals on the beach demonstrated the efficiency and preparedness of the Medical Corps. By early July, fully staffed surgical tent hospitals in Normandy were capable of performing multiple surgeries simultaneously. The invasion of Europe, while not as casualty-heavy as feared, still resulted in thousands of wounded soldiers. Field hospitals frequently treated cases of psychoneurosis, or battle fatigue, alongside physical injuries. The majority of these patients were successfully restored to their units after rest and care, but some required long-term treatment for more severe mental health issues. The volume of casualties at times overwhelmed the medical facilities. An officer of the 171st Station Hospital in Port Moresby recounted how, within days of establishing a field hospital in High Kunai Grass, they had to accommodate 500 patients, exemplifying the scale of medical needs. The Battle of the Bulge presented unique challenges, with cold weather injuries like trench foot becoming more common than combat wounds. Field hospitals like the 77th EVAC Hospital, designed for a maximum of 750 patients, received double that number during the battle. The U.S. Army Medical Corps' legacy from World War II is one of duality. On one hand, it reflects the grim reality of warfare, with the development of increasingly destructive methods to inflict harm. On the other, it showcases the remarkable advancements in medical care designed to save lives and improve recovery. The experiences and innovations of the medical corps not only reshaped military medicine, but also had a profound impact on civilian medical practices. The commitment to rapid response, patient care, and the development of new medical techniques and treatments set new standards in healthcare, both during and after the war. In summary, the U.S. Army Medical Corps during World War II exemplifies a critical evolution in military medicine, from basic care to a comprehensive, efficient, and life-saving system. This transformation was driven by the challenges of a global conflict and marked by innovation, bravery, and a deep commitment to the well-being of soldiers. The legacy of this period in medical history continues to influence both military and civilian medical practices, highlighting the importance of medical care in the context of warfare and beyond.